Hello everyone. Sorry I'm late. Welcome, welcome. Let me get my comments loaded. My computer, for whatever reason, is in slow motion. So welcome. Come on and say hi. And please list your name because I'm still dealing with the group issue. So give me a minute. Let me find where my comments are. Somehow my Switcher Studio, let me put, there you can see me. Let me find my comments. Oh, why does everything have to go wrong when you're just starting out? Okay, hang on a minute. I got to figure out where my comments are because they've kind of moved everything around. Hang on. Let's see. Where are we? All right. Let's see. We've got cameras. I am going to just keep hitting buttons until I find my comments because apparently they have moved them and I'm not sure where they are. Bear with me. Let's see. Shuffle. We don't want to shuffle. We don't want that. Now let's see. All right. Hang on. Where are you? We don't want that. All right. Bear with me, you guys. I am trying to figure out where my comments are so I can see you all. Audio switch. Bear with me just a minute. I'm trying to figure this out and I'm not quite sure why it's not cooperating, but you know how that goes, right? No, go figure. It says I'm in voice mode, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, let's see. Hang on. I don't want to push any more buttons than I have to because I don't want that. Hang on. Where did my comments go? There's usually a little button right here that I can hit comments, and there is all sorts of different, that one is missing an action and I'm not sure what happened to it. So I may not be able to see your built-in camera done. So I got that. Hey, give me just a second. I'm still looking at audio switch. I don't want that. More tools. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting the ability to add the comments, and my screen was freezing up earlier. So give me just a minute. We'll figure this out here. I'm gonna try here real quick. Let me see. Connect. Nope, we don't want that one. Well, let's see. I know I'm pushing buttons, so bear with me. I don't want that either. I've got the camera selected, so we're good with that. Y'all should be able to see me. And I've got that set, and this is not what we're working with here. Let me just see. Hang on a minute. Nope, hold on. I'm missing my comment section. Where are you? I might not be able to see what y'all say. Voice mode, audio monitoring. We've got that. I'm not sure what this little button is here. Settings, shuffle, interval. We don't want that. Inputs, outputs, effects, camera, audio, and audio switch. I am missing where. Oh well. Okay, well this is what we're gonna do. Welcome to Tuesday evening. It's me coming to you from Palm Beach, Florida. It's been wonderful, and just keep making comments. I'll go back and look at them. However, I can't see them as I'm on the system. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's not letting me do that. I'm not quite sure why. I've got my cameras in place and I think we're good to go, but I can't see any comments. So hopefully y'all are out there. I should have my iPhone, computer, my laptop over here and I can figure it out. But anyways, I hopefully that it shows that I'm live, and you know, it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Coming to you from Palm Beach, Florida. We're at the Palm Beach Motor Coach, I don't even know what you call it, Motor Coach Place, Destiny or something. Anyways, we're here till Saturday, and then we will be heading to Key West for about 8 days, and then we'll head back to the villages. So we are having a nice time. We played pickleball this morning and yesterday morning and went to the pool, and today I actually spent all day in the RV with the exception of walking the dog, working on getting various things done. So with that being said, I'm going to stop talking and we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to flip the camera over to the, we're going to do the friendly flamingos. And this is what the stamp set looks like. And this is a 12 set of photopolymer sets. So we're going to work with the flamingo, and then we're also using the flamingo dies. And we're going to be cutting a couple of these out. Now this one here you can cut out a full, like out of cardstock. And then this one here is more of the outline, which is like the rest of these. This is the wing that would go with this bird here. We're going to be using this one. I've already cut this one out for one of the other cards. So I'm just going to cut out 2 of the flamingos. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is the card that we're going to be making. Now, the one that I'm going to be doing is, I'm going to call it a step down version. So instead of being stepped up, it's going to be stepped down. I'm going to try to check to see if the comments, if I can get those again. But for now, I'm not able to see any comments. I'm not quite sure. My little comment button that's normally here is missing. I don't know what happened to him. So we're just going to have to deal with it. Just make sure you continue to leave comments, because I will go back and check everything. And, you know, we'll see what happens. But anyway, so this is what we're going to do. Let me adjust a little bit here, because I don't want you looking at my thing. Okay. All right. And this is my shopping code. It's the 2nd of March. And if you order this month from me, if you place a $45 order, then you get a pack, choose a pack, any color green cardstock for, it's the month of St. Patrick's Day. So we thought we'd offer that, or we as in me. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do, we're going to work on this flamingo. And this is Melon Mambo that I'm using, 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to fold it and score it at 4 1/4, which is what I'm doing. I'm gonna fold this. Then I'm gonna use my bone folder, and we're gonna just give us a good crease. And then this particular one we're gonna have open like this, like a book. Let me move this out of the way. All right, the second piece is a piece of Seaside spray, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're gonna lay this on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach that, and then I'm gonna pull in the baby embossing machine, because we're going to cut out the flamingo, and then we'll cut out a couple of little flowers and put him on there. So let's go ahead and add this, and then we'll attach the rest of the stuff here in just a minute. This is a very easy card, and I'm trying to keep things very simple. Now, if you don't have this stamp set, you know, you can use this design and use whatever stamp set that you may have, okay? So, all right. Now the next piece is 3 3/4 by 5. Now this one I did not emboss. Now you'll see this one. If you see, I don't know if you'll be able to see I used the Dainty Diamond embossing folder, but I didn't do it on this one, so which is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this on here. Actually, I'm not going to lay this on here because I'm going to add some ribbon, and I should have done that around the blue, but it's okay. We're going to wrap it around the pink. But the first thing I want to do is we're going to stamp our flamingo, and I'm going to use the Magenta Madness. So we're going to do magenta with our, excuse me, Melon Mambo. And I'm going to stamp my flamingo. So let's go ahead and get him inked up, and we're going to stamp him on here. I may trim the paper down just a little bit so that I can get this into the baby machine. And we're going to use the rectangle from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. We're going to use the, I think it's the 3rd or 4th one from the top. We're going to pull that one in, and we're going to cut this using the die. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in, let me stamp one more flower, because I'm going to cut that out as well. We're going to do that in the pink as well. Actually, I think I'm going to stamp off. So let me just, I'm going to stamp off to there and try to get it a little bit lighter. And we'll stamp that right about there, because we're going to add a flower. All right, so let's go ahead and close this up. Move that out of the way. All right, so I am going to bring in my paper trimmer. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit, because we're going to put this in the die cutting machine. And I think this might be a little bit too wide to get in there. And so we'll just trim it. I think that'll work. So let's try that. So let me pull in the little baby machine. Let me put these over here out of the way. All right, so this is the baby, it's not called the baby, but it's the mini die cut machine. Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and this is the mini, as you can see. And we are going to, in case my dog has now decided she wants to get up and start moving around. So we're going to put this right in here. I actually brought nice clean plates. So we're using 1, and we're going to use number 2 for the cutting, since we're doing the actual cutting of the paper. Okay, so that's going to fit. So let's go ahead and bring it in. Sorry, my hands are in the way, my arms. Let me get my die out. We're going to use the Flamingo. We're going to use this one here, and then I'm going to use one of these to cut the flower. Okay, so we'll put this back in here. This helps. I ordered these little package things, so it keeps my dies together, so in case sometimes they come loose. All right, so let's go ahead and line this up, and we're going to get this as close to the body as we can. So bear with me a minute, because I'm trying to do this sideways. I'm going to try to get him as close as we can, so it looks right. How's that look? Nope, his feet are off a little bit. I should have brought my washi tape. On this one, we don't have a magnetic. And I did have a piece of washi tape attached to this, and I pulled it off. So we're going to hope that we can get this cut straight, and it's bowing a little bit, but we're going to do our best. I'm going to cut that little flower, and if it doesn't cut out right, I'll just stamp it again, and I'm not going to worry too much about him, because I really want the flamingo in there right. So give me just a minute. Let me get him lined up, because I want to make sure we've got the color. All right, I think that's going to look good. Outside of his legs are going to be off just a little bit. So I'm going to hold this. Bear with me. I'm going to move this just a little bit. And I'm going to push that down and hold it in place. And I just moved it. Hang on a minute. And I did not bring any washi tape with me. So, all right, nope. See that one little foot right there? His one little foot is not cooperating. And then this right here. All right, well, we might have a goofy looking bird, but we're going to go with this and our flower. Hang on, let's get him up there. If that doesn't work, we can always redo this one. I'm not going to sweat about the flower right now, because we want to get the flamingo in there. So I'm going to push down on that and crank it through. And this is so much easier to use than the big one's easy too, but this one, it just goes through so much smoother. It's just so much nicer when you run it through. Okay. So let's pull out our flamingo. Okay, he's got a little bit more white showing around him, but it's okay. We'll deal with it. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to stamp one more of the flower. Let's get that done so that we can, because that's got too much white around it as well. So let's go ahead and stamp one more of these. I'm going to stamp off, and we'll do one more. Let's stamp 2, just so that we have enough. And I'm sorry I can't see y'all's comments, so I'm hoping that you're there. I assume you are, and we will just move on. All right, let's move this guy off. Let's put this right back up here again. I'm going to turn it this way so I have more control over what we're cutting. And actually there are 3 of these flower things in the die, so I'm going to pull out another one, and then that way we can knock both of these out at one time. So we'll have 2 flowers just in case. And I'm sitting here sideways, so bear with me. Okay, I think that should be good. We're going to go with that. And then I always like to lay it in here and then push down so it doesn't move. And once that grabs it, then you can go ahead and hold on to this. And these are only $60, so this is a pretty good bargain if you ask me. So this one we're not going to use. Let's move this guy out of the way, and we'll put him over there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our flowers done. I'm going to put the die over there. Now we're going to use him again. So let me go ahead and get all this stuff out of the way. Let me close this up, because I am working in small conditions here. So put that over there. Okay, now we're going to come in with our cardstock and our flamingo, and he's not as bad. He's got a little bit here, I didn't get this right, but it will be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take some of the magenta ribbon, Magenta Madness, and we're going to tie it around this. And then, oh, we got to, you know what? We have to use the machine one more time because we've got to cut out our rectangle, which I completely forgot to do. So we'll do that here in just a second. All right, that'll be an easy one to do. So we're going to wrap this 3, that's 1, 2, 3, that's 4. So let's cut this and we're going to tie this in a bow. So we'll snip that and put that over there. All right, let's go ahead and tie this and then we'll get this all. I'll move this around once I get it tied. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm doing things a little backwards, but just bear with me. All right, so we're going to hold that down. We're going to tie a bow and then I'll slide it where I want it. Okay, and I love this ribbon. This ribbon is so much easier to use when you want to tie bows, you know. And we're going to pull that. Whoops. Make sure I'm in the camera so you can see my goofiness. So I hope everyone's doing well and staying warm if you're out in the cold. It was hang on a minute. I'm all thumbs again as usual. It was up in the 80s today here in Palm Beach. So we are not complaining at all. And the problem is I'm trying to get this pushed through using my fingernail and it's not cooperating. So let me just grab it. Hang on a second. Oh, now I'm dropping everything on the floor. Give me a second. I just dropped my scissors. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a breather here and we're going to try this one more time. I have to say calm. Okay. And I'm just going to pretend that you guys are not watching. I'm going to push that little guy right through there. And there we go. See? Got to talk to myself. All right, so we're going to get that up here. And I'm going to pull these down. So give me just a minute. Let's shorten these little bows a little bit. There we go. All right, so we're going to pull that. Now I'm going to pull this over here because we're going to cover this page up. So I want to have that. I'm going to turn him this way. I'll turn the bow. We're going to turn it, hopefully that it will lay like this. And then I'm going to trim the edge off. Okay. All right, and that's going to be held down once we get our die cutting done. Okay, now let me pull in, which I actually used the wrong piece of paper, but that's okay. Let me, got another sheet in. I'll go ahead and use this one for now because we need to cut our, do our die cut. Let me move my flowers. So we'll have these out of the way and they don't get lost. Put those over there. So let's push this through one more time and we're going to run our rectangle through. So we're going to lay that there. And we're going to lay this right. Yep, that's a little bit too big. So let's just trim this down just a little bit. I'll just use my scissors. All right, we're going to lay that right there. Put this on there. And it doesn't matter if it's not straight because we're just going to cut it. And then we'll put this guy on top. Get our sandwich made. Don't y'all just love flamingos? I do. Oh, I got to flip this thing around because I'm right-handed. So this is going to be awkward. Now I'm going to use my left hand. But that's all right. Okay. There we go. We'll crank it through. Whoopsie. All right, hang on a minute. My Duma flat cheese are in here. They're not quite. There we go. We got to get them in there straight. There we go. Now we can crank them through. I had my paper glued down on the. This thing doesn't want to cooperate, does it? Hang on. Let me do it this way. I have to use my He-Man strength to get it through. Once they start to bow a little bit, it's a little bit harder. But it's good exercise, you know, and you'll hear it doing a crunch, and that's okay. So that just, some of them are a little bit tighter than others, but it's fine. It will work out just fine. And then there's our piece that we're going to use. So let's push that out of the way. All right, let's move this guy. Oh, got my workout on that one. Okay, let's set this over here. And we're going to use this again on one of the other cards. Okay, so let's pull in our card again, and we'll get everything back situated. I hope, hopefully we'll have it situated. All right, so we have our flamingo, and then we have this piece here. And let me get my sheet straight. I had it tacked down so it wouldn't shift. All right. And I still don't see where I can get y'all's comments. So anyways, just keep commenting away, and then I'll look at them after we get done. All right. So now we're going to take our Seaside Spray Stampin' Write marker, and all I'm going to do is I just want to make some kind of like water marks, if you will. And you can use your blender pens. I didn't bring that one, so I'll just use this one. And I'm just going to go back and forth just to make, all I'm doing is just making a design. There's no, I mean, I'm not doing anything that's real fancy. I'm just going to try to color it. Maybe I'll do a little bit more at the bottom. This one might be a little bit different looking than the one at the top, at the front. And we'll put a little bit more up here because this is where his head's going to be. All right, so we're going to just attach him to this. Nothing, we're not going to do anything too fancy. We're just going to attach him, and I'm going to flatten him down. So I'm going to go ahead and add this first, and I will go ahead and put my liquid glue on here. So we'll get that done, and we'll get this attached, and then we can add our flamingo. And I'll straighten out the ribbon so he is straight. All right, so we're going to lay that right there. Now again, this one does not have the embossing done, and this just goes to show it will still look like a nice card, even if you don't have a lot of stamping supplies. This is another way that you can continue to make your cards, and you don't have to have all the pieces. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna attach this guy, and I'm just gonna lay him on here flat. Whoops, helps if I use the right side of the paper, huh? Defeats the purpose. So I'm gonna lay him there. Actually, let's color him in a little bit more, because I kind of do like that one where it's a little bit more filled in, with not so much white showing. I think that'll be fine. All right, make sure you leave your comments and everything, and share the video, because your name will go in the drawing for these cards for tonight. And for those of you that are watching, the names that were drawn last week were Kay Wire and Judy DeGata. So you guys, I'll get your cards to you when I get back. So I'll put them in the mail on the 15th of March. Hopefully you'll be all right with that. All right, so we're just going to put the flamingo on here. We're just going to glue him on here if he wants to stick. So we're going to let him sit for just a minute because it's sticking to that. Let me just make sure he's laid down. Just give him a little love right there. Okay, and now we're going to put dimensionals on the back and pop this one up on this card. So let me get out my dimensionals. And we're going to flip this guy over, and then we'll attach the rest of the stuff to it. So I'm going to put 5 dimensionals on here. I'll put 1 in each corner and then 1 in the center. Okay, and then push your thumbnail down or fingernails down, and that helps to bring up the pieces of adhesive on the back, or the little safety sheets, or whatever you want to call these little guys. We'll move those out of the way. Okay. So we're going to lay this right about here, and I'm going to angle it just because it just kind of looks fun and different. So I'm going to angle it about like that. And we've got our bow, and then we're going to come in, and I'm going to put a dimensional, put a mini dimensional on the back of the flower here. And we're just going to add that. And I didn't bring my pearls. Oh, well, good Lord. And we're going to put this right about, let's see, let's just put that right about there. Okay, and then we're going to take some of our pearls here, and we're going to add a few. So let's go with the Seaside, this color here. We're going to put that up here for a change, different from that one. And then we have this pink, so we're going to lay this one down here. And I forgot the pearl. I put a little pearl. Let's see what it looks like if we, let me see, this might look too big on the flower. Now let's add that. Let's add, you know what, let's do this lavender. It'll be all right. It will be fine. Let's put that right there. That's the lavender color. That looks fine. I think that looks marvelous. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to check one more time. Give me a minute, and then I'm going to finish this card up. I still don't see where I can see y'all's comments, so I guess it is what it is. We'll just continue to move it, you know, move on, move on. All right, so here is our first card. And again, this is, you know, like a one step down, if you will. This one is embossed. This one is not. This one I've used Melon Mambo, and then this one I'm using the Magenta Madness. I kind of like that color. And then, of course, we would put our piece of white on the inside and decorate that, and I'll do that later on. Before you get your cards, they'll be decorated. All right, so that's the first card that we're going to do. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that one. Now, let's move this out of the way and get our second card. Hold on one second. I'm just going to clean off the inks real quick because we're going to be doing a different color flamingos. Let me get this one cleaned really good. All right. Now, the second one that we're going to make is... let's see, let's go with this one. This is, we're going to do another rectangle. And this one, we are going to make this. Isn't this pretty? I love these. Whoops. Connecting a camera will interrupt. What happened? All right, hang on. What happened to my camera? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Oops, sorry, guys. We're missing a camera. Hold on. Why did my camera get disconnected? Hang on a minute. Why is my internet? Hang on. Y-Guard is on. When that's on. We're there. Okay. Switcher Studio apparently doesn't like me. Share this camera. Share the camera, people. There we go. Hang on. And are we back? We're back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened with my camera. Bear with me. I'm going to flip this to my face so you don't see that thing jiggle. All right, hang on. So you're not seeing it jiggling around. Give me just a second. I'm not sure what happened there. My apologies. I'm not sure where we lost the camera source. So hang on. Bear with me. I just want to get this straight. I think I was done with the second card. I think you all saw that. And I will go back, and I'm sorry my hand's in the way. I will go back and show you in case we didn't see that one. So, and I actually we're signed into our internet thing that we purchased for this particular reason. So, all right, let's try this again. I'm going to flip the camera back down. Now, in case you didn't see this one, I want to make sure you did. This is the finished card. And again, we did not do the embossing here. And we did this in Magenta Madness. So hopefully you saw that as well. Okay. Now this is the card that we're going to be making the second go round. Let me adjust this camera just a little bit because I need to get it positioned. Hang on. There we go. That's better. Okay. I am so sorry. My apologies. Okay. So this is Granny Apple Green. And this is using Garden Green. And of course our Whisper White, and this is the color I'm using today is the Pretty Peacock and the Old Olive, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this one was the one that was Old Olive with the coastal, I think the Cabana color, which we don't carry, so we carry the Pretty Peacock one. This one I cut out using shaded spruce, so I'll go ahead. I've already done that, and we're going to color those in. And then I've already punched out the circle, so we're just going to stamp that as well. Hopefully we'll get that straight. But we do need to run through another piece of white so that we can get our flamingo on this one. And we're going to stamp that in Flirty Flamingo. So let's set that flamingo off to the side, and we're going to pull in our card pieces. So give me a second here. And we're going to get we're going to get everything organized. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp our flamingo in our, okay, what did I do with it? Hang on. I tell you, it's always something, isn't it? I put my Flirty Flamingo over here, I think. Bear with me a second. I'm trying to get my ink. Bear with me. Hang on a minute. This is like the blind leading the blind for a change. I haven't done this in a while.
Okay, I'm still talking to you. Bear with me. I know it's in here. Oh, now I'm dropping stuff over from the previous, for the next class. Not putting back in here like a dodo head. Let me just pull him out. Okay, so sorry. My apologies. So if you're new joining my channel, if this is your first or second time, you will see that it can be a comedy hour. So you just never know what's going to happen. What can I say? I was trying to get organized and put my flirty flamingo away, which was not a very smart thing to do. Okay, so now we can get back and we will stamp our flamingo on this piece, which we will cut in the mini die cutting machine again. So this one's in Flirty Flamingo, which I thought is quite appropriate name, right? So let's stamp him on here, and hopefully we'll be able to get this one cut where he's, we've got all the edges and not have so much white around his face. So we'll see. Okay, all right, got a little thing there, but that's all right. Not gonna fret over that. So let's put the flamingo over there. Clean this guy off. All right. Let's try this again. Bring in our little machine. See, he's getting his workout today, isn't he? All right, here we go. I'm going to put him this way. And again, my apologies, ladies, for my craziness. I really had everything organized, but it never fails. I probably should get my husband to go behind me and double check what I'm doing, you know? Okay, so we're making our sandwich. We're using plates 1 and 2. And we're going to lay this in here, and that fits perfectly. And then I'm going to put the little die around him so we can get our rectangle. And bear with me 1 second because I don't want to chop off his nose. So let's move him over just a tad like that. And we can move this up some because we have room at the bottom for his feet. So let's do it like that. All right, so we're going to place this down. I'm going to pull this out just a tad, and I'm going to push down and hold it. All right, so here we go. We're going to crank this little guy through. And again, it's going to be a little bit difficult because my die is a tad bowed, which is typical of what happens, but it's okay. And then you're going to hear a major crunch here in a minute. There we go. All right, so let's close this little guy up. This is so nice. I almost brought the big one, and I thought, you know what? I'm just bringing the little one because it's just so much easier. All right, so there's our flamingo for this card. So let's unwrap him here. All right, we'll lay that there. Put all this stuff over here out of the way. All right, now we can get moving. Let's see what else we can do with without making any more boo-boos. All right, let's see. All right, so we're going to come in with our Granny Apple Green. And again, this one's 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to fold it at 4 1/4. Fold it in half. And we're going to score it. I love this Granny Apple. When it first came out, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but I really do like it. It's just such an awesome color. Okay, and now we're going to add a piece of, this is from the strawberry, one of the celebration pieces. And since I have this paper, I thought, well, this is perfect because it's very tropical looking and it's got similar colors of what I'd like. And I believe this is 2 inches or 1.5 inches. Yeah, this is 1.5 inches, and we're going to make this an inch and a half, but we're going to make it by 5 1/4, which is what our old olive is. I'm sorry, garden green. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. So let me pull in my paper trimmer and let's cut this down to 5 1/4, and I might make it a little bit longer just to be on the safe side so it covers. I'm just going to go up just a tad. So cut this at 5 1/4, and then we just have this little piece that we'll just toss off to the side. Okay. All right. I hope everybody got their celebration items that they wanted. And just wait, because we're going to have another celebration in July, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we're going to attach this on here, and I'm going to place it about like maybe 1/2 inch, because the ribbon, I'm going to run the ribbon around this once I put this on here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this here. So let's go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, we have to cover up the pretty strawberries, but it's okay because we're doing flamingos. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add this, and we'll just lay this. My paper is a little bent because I forgot to take it out of my carry bag, and I had it folded. All right, so we're going to lay that right there. Just give it a minute so it sets. All right, so while it's doing that, we're going to add some ribbon in just a minute, but let me pull in my Stampin' Blends, and we're going to do a little coloring on, bear with me a minute, our piece that I cut. And I did cut this out in Shaded Spruce. So all I'm going to do is do a little bit of coloring on these flowers, and I'm going to add a little bit of the olive just to give some lightness to that Shaded Spruce. Actually, I'm not going to do the olive. I'm going to do daffodil. So I'm going to add a little bit of daffodil, kind of make the tips look a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to put some yellow right through here. And it's not going to be much, but I just want it to look like the light shining this way. So I'll just add a little bit here and right through here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with the yellow. I don't think I'm going to add any more to that. Now I am going to take the yellow. Oh, I am going to take the daffodil again. Let's see. Let's do, this is the dark. Let me go back over that with the dark, because that I did the light and that didn't show up as well. So let's do a little bit of the dark. That's better. That's much better. Let's do it that way. There we go. And then I'm going to color these little guys, these little flowers right here. I'm going to color these. I'm just following the artist's lines for this in dark daffodil. And then I'm going to come back with the light and we'll color those in. And I'm not using my fat tip because it's gotten to the point where it's, can you see? I've kind of used the tip and it's kind of all dried out on the end. So I've got to figure out how to if we are able to re-ink those. I don't know if we can or not. So I'm going to use the little pencil type, and I'm just going to color this in and give our flowers some bright springy. Now I do have, speaking of spring, I just launched my new class that I've got scheduled. You have until March 10th. And it's definitely designed for beginner stampers. It's no stamping involved. It's using one of our Memory and More kits with the cards, and it's, I think, the absolutely beautiful cards, and it's just gorgeous. Now you can add stamps if you want, but we're going to do it with no stamping. We're going to use the stickers that come with the Memory and More cards, and it's a really great, I think the cards turned out really nice. They're beautiful. All right, so this is the Flirty Flamingo Dark. So I'm just going to do this in the center and pull out right here. So check it out. I have posted it. It should be on my blog. And if you don't see it, let me know and I'll send you the link to where you can get it. It's for the, oops, let me turn this over. This is the Flirty Flamingo Light. The cost of the class is $38, which includes shipping. And you will get all of the materials needed, to, the card bases, cut and scored for the cards. You'll get your card Memory More card pack. You'll get some ribbon. I think it's the gingham, bolt of gingham ribbon, and whatever else is needed to make the cards. And you can make as many, I think I made 8 or 10, but you'll have materials left over that you can make more cards if you want to. Okay? All right, so that's all we're going to do with this. And we're just going to leave that right there. So let me move these out of the way. I'm going to put them back in the bag so they don't get lost. No telling, you know, the way things are going so far. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that aside. Let's bring our ribbon in, and I'm going to tie this right on this edge. We're going to wrap it around and tie a bow. And I'm hoping to get the lighter color to show through, which is the green. So we'll go ahead and tie our bow, and then again, I'll, actually, let me do it, hang on, I'm going to do it this way so my bow, actually, I didn't even tie a bow, I tied a knot. Let's see, well, let's see if we can do a bow. If it doesn't work, we'll just do the knot. Let's try the bow, and I'm going to try to get it so it ties, there we go, it should come through, and we'll pull it so it pulls here on the side, and we'll get it just like the other one. See, there we go. We'll put that in here, All right, now that's a little bit loose. So what I'm going to do is we'll add some adhesive to the back. Actually, no, let's do that again. I don't like it. I don't like leaving my bows loose like that. So let's just retie. We're going to retie it. I love this ribbon. I think this is such a gorgeous ribbon. I'm really excited. Did you all know that the new catalog will be out in April? Aren't you excited? I was thinking it was June for some reason, and I read something that I think it said April, if I'm not mistaken. So I am excited. So as a demonstrator, I think we get to look at it later this month. Isn't that going to be exciting? So I'm going to hold my finger here and just pull this down because this one's a little bit longer. So I'm just going to kind of tighten it, and then I'll trim everything up. So we're going to do a bow. The other one, let me pull this one. This one's a little bit longer than the other. So hang on. Let's tighten him down a little bit. I'm going to pull him a little bit shorter so that when I tighten it, it's going to work. The sizes will come out even. Okay, there we go. So that's good. So let's cut this. And let's see. Oh, we're doing pretty good on time. So we're going to trim that there, and we'll trim this one here. All right, so we're going to leave that like that. Okay, so now we can attach this to our card base. All right, and I'm going to put this over just a little bit because I want it right on the edge of the card, the designer series paper. All right, so we're going to go ahead and attach this with our adhesive, and you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. I think I brought my, I'm pretty sure I did, brought my seal, but I always use this. I like that. It works. It just goes so much farther, and then it gives you that ability to move everything if you need to. So, all right, so we're going to place this on here, and we'll make sure we've got our border going all the way around. So let's just hold that for a second so it holds on to that. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. So let's go ahead and attach those, and we'll wait before we put this on here. And I think we only need 3. We're going to stamp our sentiment on this circle. So pray that I get it stamped on there correctly. So let's move this out of the way. And where is my sentiment? He's here. Hang on. He's hiding. I know he's hiding because I put him over here. Yep, there he is. He's hiding right behind the washi, my little washi stand. So, oh my goodness. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Okay. Hopefully you can see. I need to get a little bit, hopefully you can see that. Okay. So this is, I'm hoping your day is as amazing as you are. And this is a stamp that's in that set. So let's go ahead and we're going to stamp this on this circle. And I think this is the 1 1/4 inch circle if I'm not mistaken. So I'm hoping I got that straight. And we're going to hold it for just a minute so that the ink can transfer. Perfect. Very good. Happy with that. All right, let's close up our ink. I love that color ink too. I really do. Okay, so we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this as well. So let's lift this one up, and we'll put 2 dimensionals on here. I don't think we need much more than that. Probably could have gotten away with 1. All right, so now we're going to take our flamingo, and I'm just going to lay him flat on here, and then we're going to dress him up with the sentiment and our flower thing here. So we're just going to add our adhesive to this, and then we'll attach this down first. And my dog's over there licking her feet. I swear to God, I think she's got issues. She's getting old. Bless her little heart. I might have to yell at her in a minute. Riley. As soon as I say her name, she stops. Because she knows she's not supposed to be licking. So out will come the Benadryl. Okay, so we're going to attach our flamingo right there. And then this piece here with all our beautiful flowers, we're going to attach to the bottom. So he's standing in his tropical garden is what he's doing. So we're going to place this right about there. All right. This is, again, these are very easy cards. So just, you know, especially if you want to do a nice card and do a very simple, and then this is kind of taking up some of the space of, so the white's not showing so much, and we're going to put that at an angle. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in our piece of Whisper White. Now this is going to go on the inside, and we're going to stamp this with the little, I think there's a little, yeah, there is this little flower right here. We're going to stamp that in the 4 corners. So let me pull this out and add that to the block. So give me just a moment. Whoopsie. And let me change out here. And we're going to do that in our Flirty Flamingo. So let's pull that back in. All right. So we're going to take this, and if you, you can't see it, but it's got a little hump on it. If you see, it's a little arched. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to arch it in each of the 4 corners. And it's a very tiny, very delicate flower stamp. So I'm just going to push it down in each of the corners. Actually, I don't like that one. That one's done. Let's do this again. He was too far off. It's probably because I can't see what I'm doing here. All right, so we're going to do that. I'm going to try to get a little bit higher. See how it's arched a little bit? And then I'm going to turn this one so that I can get it arched, you know, doing the same thing. So it looks kind of uniform. All right, so that's what we're going to do for the inside. Bear with me 1 minute. I have to yell at my dog. Hold on. Riley. All right, sorry about that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take this, and now we can attach this to the inside of our card. All right. And then that dresses that up. And then, of course, you can always decorate your envelope if you choose to do so. So don't you think, doesn't that flamingo look, Flirty Flamingo look so pretty on this Granny Apple Green? Isn't that gorgeous? And there's the final card. Isn't that pretty? So what do you think about that one? All right, there's number 2. Now we're next on number 3. So let me move this out of the way and pull in my, now this is a very tropical looking card. This one is one of my favorites, and it's very easy to make. Let me get my supplies out. Okay, this is the card that we're going to make. Hang on a minute. Let me get my supplies here. And we have our matching envelope. And this is using the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. So if you, and it's in the annual catalog. So this is perfect for spring cards or anything you want to do that's tropical looking. So this is a great card to do that. So we are using Bumblebee cardstock. And again, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then Just Jade, so we're going to pull in Just Jade, and that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and pull in our pieces. Now I have cut some of this paper ahead of time, and we're going to do our envelope, so bear with me just a minute. And we're going to, oh, we have to bring that machine in one more time because we're going to have to cut him. So let's go ahead, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's cut our, let's stamp our flamingo, and he's going to be in magenta, because we are using magenta and jade, Just Jade. Okay, Magenta Madness and Just Jade. So let's go ahead and stamp our flamingo, and we're going to stamp a couple of flowers, and we'll be good to go. So let's get him stamped again, and we're going to pull in our machine here in just a minute. So let's get him placed right about there. All right. Now you could use the other die cut, and we could have just cut out the paper. I should have done that one for something different. Don't you love that color? It's just so pretty. Okay, and now let's cut, let's go ahead and stamp a couple of flowers. Let's do 2 pink ones, and you know what? Let me cut him first. Well, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stamp them on here because it's not gonna take up. So we're gonna do 2 pink ones. Okay, and then we're going to come back and do a bumblebee. So let's get our bumblebee out. All right, and we'll do a bumblebee. We'll put him up in the corner. All right, let's do a second one, and I'll just do it's a lighter color one. All right, so let's close these up. Let's bring in the little crazy machine again, And I'm going to trim this so that we have plenty of room to get this through the machine. So let's cut that down. So I still have a piece of white that I can use. All right, and now we're going to bring in our die again. And let's bring in the mini cut, stamp and cut emboss machine. It's a mouthful, isn't it? Okay, we're getting a workout out of this little baby, huh? Okay, so you get that right there. I'm doing it this way. It's easier for me, so I apologize. All right, so let's see if we can get our flamingo on here straight. And then we'll come back and do our flowers. I might try to do them. All right, hang on a minute. Let's do... I should have brought my washi tape. Because see what happens? You got to washi. You got to get his legs down like that. So his legs are showing. And then you got to twist his head. And I had a piece of washi tape and I should have left it on the machine like I initially had planned. All right, hang on. See, this guy's gotten some love, that's for sure. We're going to move it up just a tad. There we go. We're going to come back and do the flowers after I cut this, because I'd rather have this so I can get it in here and have it cut it right. There we go. So we're going to place this on top, and I'm going to hold this guy down, and hopefully I can get the plate on there, and that will hold it as well. So, yep, see, here we go. Now his legs are off. Just give me a minute. All right, let's see. All right, let's try that and see how that goes. Here we go. We're cranking him in. There goes the flamingo, and I see we got a little bit white around his legs. So next time you need to make sure, or I need to make sure I bring the washi tape. But that's not too bad. He's got a little bit more of a white border. Not too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and cut the flowers, and we've got 3 of these, so let's go ahead and cut our 3 out at one time. So we'll place this back in here. I'm going to put one on the bumblebee, and we'll get that turned around. Even though they're small, they do have a little bit of, you can tell how they go because there's one area that fits right into the flower circle here. So you just have to kind of twist it until you find it like that, and you keep twisting. You'll see it when it lines up. You'll go, oh, there it goes. Nope, that's not it, right? So right about there. I think that's good. And then we'll do this one. Put that one in there as well. And I think that one might be, nope, he's not on. Let's see, there's one little area that one of these pops out a little bit further than the others. There, nope, that's not it either. So you just got to just kind of twist it, and there we go. This little piece right there goes in. All right, so let's go ahead and place this right here. And I hope you guys are still with me. I assume that we're still live. All right, so let's go ahead and cut out our flowers, and then we'll be ready to put our card together. All right, those were pretty easy to do. Okay, move those over there. Get this out of the way. Sorry for the noise. All right. Okay, so let's pull in our flamingo. Let me put my dies on the spot so they don't get lost. And, okay, we'll set that over there. Hang on a minute. Okay, so let me get this out of the way and get my 2 little flowers that we want. We need our sentiment, and then we need our papers so we can put this together. All right, now the paper, the flower for every season is a 6x6, right? So, and I'll show you what we cut it down to. So again, this is 5.5 by 8.5. So we're going to just fold it in half, and which would be at 4 1/4. And you need, if you want a good crisp crease, you know, score it and then use your bone folder, and then that helps to flatten that down. All right, so we're going to take our Just Jade, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and add that. And again, I think this is such a beautiful card. I love this paper. You're going to see a lot more of this paper being used. This and the new Butterfly Brilliance. Have you all seen that? I know you have. We will be doing that next week. I've got those cards all ready to go, and they're absolutely stunning. They're absolutely just beautiful. Okay, so this is our Just Jade. Now I took a piece and we're going to cut. So I cut this at 3 3/4, but we want to cut it down. So we always cut down by 1/4 inch, right? So if this is 4 by 5 1/4, then we want to cut this piece at 3 3/4, and we want it, instead of 5 1/4, we want to cut it at 5. So we're going to lay this in the paper trimmer, and we're going to cut this at 5 inches, and there's my 5-inch mark right there. And we'll line that up. Now keep this piece, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. We're going to put this on the inside of the card. All right, so that's all the cutting that we're going to do for now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add this piece. And you'll see when I get done, I'll show you the other card. They're two different, they're both tropical. This one's got more like, well, not tulips, but flowers that haven't quite bloomed open, and the other one are actually opened. And they kind of look like tulips in a way. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our adhesive to this. And see, the back side of these sheets are absolutely, isn't this pretty? This is Just Jade with little polka dots on it. So if you don't want tropical, just use the back side. Isn't that pretty? Well, with my glue on it. So we're going to lay that down here and make sure we've got our about 1/8 of an inch going all the way around. All right. And then I cut a strip of Magenta Madness, and this should be 1 inch if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And it's 1 inch by, and we're going to trim it down. This is 1 inch by 4 1/2, but we're going to trim this down. Actually, I want it to be 4 1/4, because I'm going to have it go from edge to edge. So it's going to have a little bit hanging over, which is okay, because I'll just trim it. I'd rather glue it on here and then we'll trim it off. That way I know it covers. All right, so let's go ahead and add this next. Again, this is just going to be flat. So, and again, I use the Dainty Diamond embossing folder. And if you see, you don't think about it, but just taking one little strip of cardstock, 1 inch of cardstock, and running it through, it just adds, you know, a little bit more definition to your card. And I'm going to place this in the center. So I'm going to place that right there, and I'm going to let it dry for a minute, and then I'm going to trim that off, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Okay, so I'm just going to lift open my card and bring my paper snips in and just trim it this way, and that way I know I'm right up against the edge of the card and it will be flush. Okay, so we'll put that there. All right, now we have our flamingo, so we're going to pop this guy up on dimensionals. We're going to put these on dimensionals, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. We're going to use the same sentiment that we did before, but we're going to stamp this in our Magenta Madness, because we're going to have everything is going to be hot pink. So those of you that like pink, my best friend is a cancer survivor, and pink is her color. So we're just going to place this again on the, I think it's the 1 1/4 circle punch. And I think that's, I don't think I like that. It's too far down. So we want it to go up a little bit higher, because we're going to put the flowers towards the bottom. So let's see if I can do it this way. Let me stand up. All right, so we're going to put this right about there. And I really wish that I could see y'all's comments. I'm going to have to go, oh Lord, look at that. It didn't come through. Good thing I brought 2 of these, because you never know, right? So let me get some ink on there. That's probably why I didn't put enough ink on it. Okay, good thing I brought 2 of them, because I don't know if I brought the punch or not. I may have. All right, so we're going to stamp this right about there. Let me make sure I push down on all 4 sides. That way we know it's going to work. There we go. Perfect. I like that. I love this color. Okay, now we're ready to put our card together. So let's get our dimensionals out. And we're going to put the mini dimensionals on the back of the flowers. We're going to attach that in just a minute. And let's get our flamingo, get him with his dimensionals. And I'm going to use a couple of minis on the bottom of his feet to hold those down. Put like right where the heel area is, so you can't, I don't think you'll be able to see this, hopefully not. And we'll peel that off. Peel that one off. And then I'm going to put one right there in the center. It will probably be fine, but I'm going to put one up on his head and one in. So put one right there where his legs come together. And we'll put one right up here on the top of his little pea-picking head. Whoops, hang on. All right, so there we go. All right, and then we're going to put, we'll put little minis on these guys. So we'll put one there. Let me get the other two. These are so small. I should have my take your pick tool, but I didn't bring it out. All right, so let's go ahead and attach our flamingo and pull off these little backings to the dimensionals. Hope y'all are still with me. It's 8:02, so I think we're doing good. I'm almost done. Probably a good couple more minutes. So I hope y'all are enjoying these cards, and I'm really sorry that I can't see your comments. That's very depressing. All right, so I'm going to lay him right about there. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. We're going to tuck this under because I'm going to make it look like he's holding this message for y'all. You know what I mean? So we're going to put this right under his little beak, and get my stuff out of the way. So we're gonna put this right about there because I want it to look like he's holding it. Put it right about like that. All right, so we're gonna put that there, and then we're gonna take our little flowers and take our backings off, and we're gonna take, and I'm gonna put a pink one on each end since I did two pink, and we'll do one here, and then I'm going to take the bumblebee. And we'll put that one right in the center and put it down just a little bit lower. All right, so that's the front of our card. Now the next thing we're going to do is we've got two more things. This is the inside. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And remember this piece that we cut off? We're going to put this right down here at the bottom. Now this one doesn't go all the way across, but it's okay. We're going to add this to give our inside a little bit of, oops, my little paper's sliding around now. I had it tacked down, but I guess it doesn't want to tack down. I must have pulled the things off. So we're just going to add a little bit of adhesive to that, and then we're going to do our envelope so you can see how that gets done as well. So this way you're using up all of your designer paper, that 6 by 6 sheet, with very little waste. So we're going to put that right here at the bottom. Try to make sure we've got it even, and I think we do, from side to side. All right, so we're going to attach this to the inside of our card. And just remember, make sure you comment and share, because the more times you do, your name will go into a drawing, and you will get these cards. 2 people, 3 cards. All right, so that's how the inside of our card is going to look. Isn't that pretty? And that's that. Okay, now, this is the other piece that we cut off because I cut this at 3 3/4. So this left me 2 1/8, or 2 1/4, I'm sorry. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this. Now, granted, you know, we would like to have our design to go like that, right? But I think it's still going to be pretty like this. Or we could put the green on the back. We could do that. Let's do that. Let's put the green on the back. What do y'all think about that? That way our flowers aren't going sideways. So let's do this. Let's go ahead. And I don't have my seal out, so we're going to use our liquid glue. So I'm just going to run this right along close to the flap where it folds, and then I'm going to do it all along the edges here. And I would probably use my seal for this. Either one's going to work, but usually I use the seal. All right, so we're going to lay this on here. Now this is going to cover right off of each edge. You'll have a little bit extending off the cardstock, off the envelope. So we want to push it and try to get it as close to that flap, the fold where it's going to flap down. Okay, and we're going to let that sit for just a second so that we can make sure that we get it adhered before we trim it. All right, so with that, now it's moved a little bit because of using the Tombow. So hang on a minute, we can slide that back up some. All right, and then we're going to come in with our snips, and we're just going to follow around the flap of the envelope and just cut around. And this way you can have matching envelopes for everything that you do with your designer series paper. And your recipient is going to be going, oh my gosh, where did she get that card? And then you're going to tell them that you made it, and then they're going to be completely surprised. All right, so we'll move that out of the way. It's got glue on it. And there is our envelope. Of course, I need to move it up some. There you go. Isn't that cute? So here are the 3 cards that we made this evening. Let me pull those back out. We have this one, and we also have this one. Now, aren't these gorgeous? Don't you just love these cards? Isn't that pretty? Move those up there so you can get them in the camera and see them. Okay, let me flip you back over here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really, sorry that I didn't get to see your comments, but I will go back as soon as I disconnect from this session, and I'll go back and read your comments and make comments myself. So thank you again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you next Tuesday, coming to you live from Key West, Florida. So I'll keep you posted on that. All right, have a great evening, and thank you again for watching, and make sure you share my video. It helps me out to reach other people, other paper crafters. So thank you again, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye now.